this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our trespasses. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Bring it. My life's back on track, I'm feeling good. Matter of fact, the Holy Spirit got him jumping. I don't know how to act. I sanctified Christian on a mission. God bless it. Worship music, got him dancing two-step. Church and session, baby. In the name of Jesus, we give God the glory. The book of Ephesians, Paul tells the story. How Jews and the Gentiles sharing God's promise. Peace in the Middle East, today is coming. I pray for more peace in the streets where we live. I pray for the day I live to see my grandkids. I pray for the day they stop the violence in the hood. From the west to the east, let me tell you what's good. The church was off the chain when we praise in God's name. God's Holy Spirit take away all the pain. So much persecution, saints suffer retribution. I pray for my people locked in prison institutions. Every day I pray. I pray. Every day I pray. I pray. Every day I pray. Every day I pray. Pray for the lost to be found. Please bring her back home. Jehovah got a strong shoulder you can lean on. When your life is in the bind and you don't know what to do, call upon the name of Jesus. His power is the truth. I pray for those of you who don't know how to read or write. I pray for those of you who still don't know Jesus Christ. We live and we learn experience the best teacher. Put the church first, listen close to the preacher. The word of God's a teacher. How to live and prosper. Stay away from foolishness. Evil sleeps monsters. Lawyers and executives up to no good. I pray for God's will like the Bible says I should. On the right path, the apostle preaching gospel. God's Holy Spirit makes all things possible. Jonah and the whale was fired from a fairy tale. Paul preached to the people from inside a jail cell. Every day I pray. Every day I pray. Everybody I pray. And give it praise. Every day I pray. Come on, every day I pray. I give it praise. Rejoice to the music that you hear in your ear. Worship Jesus Christ, make faith stand clear. Saints have no fear. Jesus Christ has a plan. Anointed, yes I am. I'm a gospel rapping man. I pray to the Lord to let me rap His glory. To tell the whole world the many things He's done for me. Every day God's good. Look at how I'm living. Blessed with the best of everything God's given. My wife, my kids, my life, my home. Thank God every day for blessing me to write songs. Reach the people, preach His message, spread His word like a plane. Find the sheep who ran away, lost in the hurricane. We still cleaning up the mess Katrina blew down. I pray for the missing people that ain't been found. Earthquakes and devastation, worldwide news. Thank you, Jesus, for bringing us through. Every day I pray. Every day I pray. Come on, stand up. Every day I pray. Everybody, stand up. Every day I pray. Give Him praise. Come on, stand up. We're doing it again. We spread all over the world. Chill, it's like it's a play. The Holy Spirit, tell Him it's making a movement. We saving souls. We on a mission for God. Pastor Thomas. Chill. And we on. Chill. To the break of dawn. Every day I pray.
Our Heavenly Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass.
Amen, 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 amen. Man, that's a powerful song. My goodness. Every day I pray. Amen. Well, welcome. And thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Show on Elation Radio. I am your host, Chanel Lynn, and special thanks to the lovely Miss Kimmy Kim and Jerry Royce at PositivePower21.org. speaking of which, we have the pleasure of having Mr. Jerry Royce, the Great, on the show with us tonight. How are you this evening?
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Well, sir, you have been a very busy man.
Yeah, God is good.
Yes, as I understand, you are an award nominee at the Voice of Gospel Music Awards and have 2 movies under your belt. Wow. Can you tell us, can you tell us the titles of your movies, and when can we be looking out for them?
Well, we got 2 movies coming out. We have Living with Dirty Diana. That one's not going to be due out probably till the summer because we have to do some more shooting, and that has to be outside. So, the weather's been kind of fickle, so we're going to wait till the weather get better so we can get some nice shots of the beautiful Baltimore waterfront. Amen.
Oh, wow.
The first film, film I've been working on for like the last, I guess, 2-3 years. Didn't know what direction it was going to go in. It's called Who I Am, Next Man Up, featuring African-American males from basically the Baltimore area right now, or covering Maryland, should I say. So that's due out probably in about another week or 2. We want to get it up on a platform, and then we want to start promoting it. That's how my manager rolls. She believe in promoting. So I'm just not going to just put it out there and nobody know. Amen. So we're excited. We're really excited because it looks good. I'm happy with it. At first, I had no idea what God was doing with this. So, we'll see.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. So I got to know what or who inspired you to make these movies, especially the kind of movies that you're making and producing and everything. What inspired or who inspired you?
Well, I always had a love for cinematography anyway, but the cameras were so expensive. I actually sent my oldest son to college to be an engineer, and then he switched up and went into, I guess you call it telecommunications at Morgan State University. So he was bringing home camera gear and lights and everything, and they were giving him stuff. And I started getting a real interest, but I was like, wow, I'm too far into my other career. I was into publishing at the time. I didn't know if I had any room for it because it was very time-consuming publishing because, the customers can be really, nurturing. So, and he was showing me some of his work because he was actually doing some stuff down in Miami when that whole DJ Khaled thing and Cash Money Brothers thing was starting to blow up in the Miami area. He was actually one of the young kids down there shooting, and he worked on HBO, The Wire, him and his stepbrother. So I started saying, wow, then I went back to school myself, and I went to school for corporate communications. So it's like a combination of everything. So we was doing editing, and my teacher said, I've never seen anybody edit The Wizard of Oz like that. You made it its own movie, another movie. And so I started seeing I had a knack for editing. So I was like, and then finally, a lot of other things started to happen with the technology becoming a little bit more affordable because some of those cameras were like $100,000, then $20,000, to shoot quality film. So now, we were able to sink some, quite a couple $1,000s into some cameras. Got into shooting sports for my son, and again, people was asking for some of the work, and here I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amen.
Wow. That is awesome. My goodness. Okay, and so now I want to know, I want you to let everyone know who Jerry Royce is. Who is Jerry Royce?
Well, it's 2 sides of me. I got the dark guy, the Batman guy, the guy that like to tinker around with stuff, try to figure out how to make things do stuff. I always believe there's always another way. I would never recreate the wheel, but I always know it's always another way, an easier way, a better way. The other guy is the family guy. You know, he's the guy who like to spend a lot of time with his family, his kids. I have three children, one 35, 15 and 17. So it's like starting over, but we are very close. We like to travel. We like to go to restaurants, and we spend a lot of time with my father-in-law. Not as much time with my parents I would like, because they live a little far. But that's the two sides of me. You know, the other side is all into this media, and then the family side. Amen.
Oh, man, that's awesome. That is so awesome to know. Because you are, I consider you a man. You're definitely on the road to greatness. I mean, you've achieved a lot, and so I just want to know: has the road always been easy, or have you had to overcome some obstacles and adverse situations?
No, actually, when my brother and I first got in the entertainment industry, my brother actually was a model. He got discovered and got a contract, I think, with Kodak. He was in a couple malls. So then that led to us doing runway and a lot of stuff, you know, for men. A lot of men clothing was starting to take another level, real fine men's clothing. And we stumbled to television in D.C. I actually had an opportunity to work on a music video show that was a prototype in D.C., and we were on a dance show. Then we started doing some commercial work. So it's like all that started just falling out of the sky on us. We were actually in the publishing. We was working for a very large publisher in the Baltimore area, and I was in the IT. He was in the copy editing, and my dad was working there, and his brothers and sisters. So we decided, my dad was looking at retirement. He wanted something to do. I had a school project that was a news magazine cover. Him and my mom loved it, so they invested in it, and we started a publishing company. So we did that for like 20 years, graphics and stuff.
Wow.
I think when I really ran into some challenges was when my dad had when he retired, he wasn't as active as he was before. So he had acquired diabetes, and he was like 65 or something like that. Wow. His mom actually passed because she wasn't on no medication. She was very young when it happened. And his father, he passed like in his 70s, but he didn't really take care of himself. He used to just like to drink and hang out with his farm friends. So anyway.
Oh, wow.
So when it happened to me, it was around 2015. I was under a lot of stress for where I was working because I was in a leadership program. So wherever you landed in these components, they always thought you was like some type of superhero, like you can do everything. And when they found out that I could do everything, because by me being in business, you wear a lot of hats, you know. So next thing I'm pulled in different, I was like on 15 groups, maybe 5 or 6 work groups. And I always try to do everything the best I can. And then I always end up being a leader of those groups. And next thing I know, I just started feeling wore down. And we went on vacation. I came back and felt even worse, because we went on that Tom Joyner family reunion thing, and we was eating so much carbs and had a lot of fruit juice and stuff like that. I was just thirsty. I was at Orlando, and that was when my challenge came, was the health, because nobody really know a lot about diabetes as I thought. The doctors really don't know. All they want to do is treat you with medication. The nutritionists, they all want you to eat their way. The vegans, they think their way is better. You know, it's like everybody think their way is better, but nobody really want to try to customize the plan for your body type. And that's what I found out, that everybody's body type is so different that you have to find out that balance. You know, whether it's a lot of exercise, a little exercise, vegetarian, some protein, little plant protein. You know, it's like a lot to learn on your own. So you're your best advocate. So that's what kind of steered me to doing the movie. Because I found that everybody I've interviewed had a different story. So you can't sit there and say, oh, he should be able to do that. Oh, he should be able to drive. Oh, he should be able to jump off of a mountain because I can do it. Everybody's different. You know, that's what I found out. Right. Everybody, really, really. I mean, I have a buddy who was a professional football player, and he lost 2-3 toes while being a marathon runner. So exercising. Wow. So in his formula was, if he exercised hard, he can keep the glucose levels under control, but then stepped on a nail or something, didn't know it, and he got infected. You know, so it's like all kinds of stuff can happen without your fault. You know, and people don't understand because they think you're the same person you were before it happened. You know, even your family, they still think you're that same person. That no, I need to take a nap. You don't need to take. You only been up for 4 hours. I need a nap. I'm about to fall out. You know, so that's been the challenge. Just the last 3 years with that. Mostly the last 2 has been the most. You know, challenge.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the challenge.
That's wow. Man, people don't understand that, you know, diabetes it has no age. It has no respecter of person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just recently found out that a friend of mine that I grew up with after getting the flu, and his flu was gone and was diagnosed with diabetes. He's only like a month older than I am. And so now he's, you know, going through the same thing. So, the movie you were talking about the Living with Dirty Diana.
Yeah.
Right?
Living with Dirty.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us what is that movie exactly about? And you know, give us some snippets if you like about it.
Dirty, Living with Dirty Diana. I actually have a trailer that's out there right now. My daughter helped me with that. You know, I'm like I said, I love cinematography, so it's like I want to have the experience with motion picture. You know, so I always try to think of something clever to do, something out of the box. We actually did a promo with the radio station. You know, what the Batman is all about. You know, with multimedia. But anyway, the movie is kind of like, it's going to be like a documentary meet BET. So in other words, it's going to be music. It's going to be music scores in it because we actually going to have a contest for the independent gospel artists to submit their music and try to win an opportunity to be part of the soundtrack. The movie basically is about diabetes, but it's going to be more like my journey with it because it's just happened. You know, only had it since 2013, but I reversed it. But it came back around, I think it was 2016. It came back. Yeah, 2016. It came back.
Oh, wow.
Yep, that fall.
Wow.
I just lost a cousin from it. He passed out and crashed into a truck. My grandmother passed this past March. My best friend passed 2 years, I think 3 years ago. He passed right after the Ravens won their second Super Bowl. No, that year. He passed that year. And then my brother-in-law passed the same year he did from it. So I didn't really understand because we didn't really know. They never really made it a big deal. They just like, you know, I can't do this, I can't do that, but they did it anyway. So you kind of, so my deal is a lot of people don't understand it. So the purpose of the movie is to kind of entertain you, but teach you about it at the same time. Because, you know, it's kind of boring sometimes. You sit around and look at a medical documentary about something. Some people can't take it, and then some people just not going to be interested. So I'm going to kind of...
Especially if you're not dealing with it.
Yeah, it's going to be like a journey, like a story. And at the same time, it's going to be a few people who are living with it, going to tell us stuff. It's not like you're going to sit through the whole dialogue. It's going to... You know, it's going to be great. It's going to be super duper. So that's why it's going to take me a while to finish because I want to add some beautiful scenery. I want to really put the charm on the charm city. So I think at the same time, while people listen to the story, they have an opportunity to see the real pretty parts of Baltimore. So that's my goal. You know, is to sell Baltimore and the story at the same time. You know how when you do stuff with people, you tell them a story. You can't just tell people a story and you're just sitting in a chair. You know, you got to show a picture book. You know, when you're a kid, the story is more interesting when you see pictures. Well, that's my goal to show some pictures, beautiful pictures.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
that's
dirty.
To make every story interesting,
you
have to have that adverse situation.
Yeah. That's
overcoming something horrific and
it's hard.
I'm an actress, just to let you know. I'm just gonna slip that on in there.
Right.
I have a little acting skills.
And I was looking for some actors.
You are looking for someone.
Hey, if you can come to town, I know you coming to town. you guys are supposed to come here, and we may be able to shoot something. You may be able to do a trailer for me. So that'd be tight. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
The world is not ready.
That's
The
right.
world
They're
is
not ready.
ready.
But it's going to be good. Yeah, come on. If you can make it, I can have something ready for you. You decide you want to come out, because I'm telling you, the movie's going to be dark too. It's going to be a really dark movie. Because Dirty, Dirty Diana, I got tired of calling it diabetes. So I named it Diana. I was like, oh man, Diana kicking my butt today. Yeah. She hurt me today.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of people really don't understand, what you're going through. It was like 6-7 months. I felt like I played football like every day, and I was carrying the ball like every play. That's how I felt getting up. Yeah, that's how I felt getting up.
Wow.
Yep. And then once you get going, you get to go. You can't stop. It's like, okay, it's like 2 a.m. I'm still up. That kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. And then friends, you're trying to find your friends. And then when you make friends that is living with the same thing, you talk to them, they like so down that you just can't take it. It's like, oh my God, buddy, I really wanted to check on you, but I didn't know it was that bad. It was like, it was like I'm on my 7th operation. They trying to save my eye. That's the kind of stuff you hear when you make friends with people with diabetes. You don't even know if they're going to be around that next week, because they may have just given up and just blew their brains out. Some people just can't take it. It makes you think those kind of thoughts. The medication is really the culprit. You'd be better off if you just try to wing it without the medication. You got to find that fit. Yeah, it takes a while. Like me, I'm allergic to insulin because it's pig insulin. So with little insulin I can produce to draw up enough energy to make it through the day, I have to kind of conserve it sometime, because like, okay, I'm going to go hard right now, but I'm going to take it easy midday, take a short nap, get up, ready, finish out the day. But you never know, that thing might generate something. The next thing you know, it's like, whoa, it's 1 o'clock and I'm still wide awake, those kind of days. So you just never know. No day is the same. You can have a 7-day work week. 3 days could be really, really good days. You felt normal. The rest of the week, man. When Donald Trump going to push the button, you be thinking like that. I'll go fight for him. Where they at? Where the Taliban? I'll take them. Yeah, it'd be crazy stuff like that you be thinking. People don't know. People really don't know. They really don't know.
They don't.
What people go through, and it's a lot of people living with it. You'd be surprised. You look at the matter of fact, we got stats in the trailer. So that's what Dirty gonna be about. It's gonna be dirty. It's gonna be dark. There's gonna be some funny parts, but overall, it's just to educate people so they understand what their coworkers are going through. When they sit there and say, "Oh, you slow, man, you dumb." It's not that they dumb. Sometimes them hormones just not kicking in gear enough. Brain fatigue. Wow. Maybe the hormone went somewhere else in the body. Maybe you're super strong, but you're not thinking clearly. That kind of thing. People say, "Wow, well, you run marathons." Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty strong. I've won a lot of competitions and stuff, but sometimes that's just the good part of the day. It's like one thing people understand that some diabetics, they have to work out hard, or their glucose will hang around their body and just destroy their pancreas and their kidneys. Mainly it destroy the kidneys. That's why you hear about a lot of them have to get transplants, because they just sit around and eat and snack and watch TV, don't exercise. They only last about 4 or 5 years, some of them. Or they take a lot of medication, 15 to 25 pills, including insulin, every 3 to 4 hours. Or some of them on pumps. People don't even know about that. People, you see them, you think that's the cell phone? Wow. They use their cell phone to help monitor their levels. It's like a little device that looks like a cell phone. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, wow.
That's what Dirty's about. That's what the movie's about. It's going to be dirty. It's going to be dirty, Chanel.
Wow.
Yeah. It's going to be a teacher. It's going to educate.
That's a pretty catchy title, too.
Thank you. So I hope to make millions. So I hope y'all support me over here in the United States. I'll probably make all my money overseas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, you have my full support, and I'm sure, Elations Radio has, you have our full support, especially on this, because I definitely, I mean, more and more people are being diagnosed with it. I'm coming to know more and more people personally that are being diagnosed with it. and a lot of people don't know.
8 million per year. 8 million per year. Going to be finding out real soon. Yeah. I forgot to ask you, how long is the show? I forgot to ask you. Is it an hour or 30? 30.
It's until, we have about 30, maybe 45 minutes. So we were almost at 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
We're doing pretty good,
okay.
I think.
Oh, you said we got 30 more minutes, or we only had 30 minutes?
We're at about almost at 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
So we're fine. We're
okay. All right. Well,
but I do, Jerry, I really want to applaud you, though, because, even though, you have the struggles with, dealing with, as you say, Dirty Diana, which is diabetes, you are a great man. I mean, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're still working hard. You still, you're still. So I'm just wondering, where do you find your inspiration? Because a lot of people, like, even as you said, other people that that have it, they're not as, they're not as enthusiastic. They're, drained and everything. So where do you find your inspiration?
Well, I love what we're doing right now. I mean, this radio, it started out as a hobby for me. I was just interviewing authors, the digital world. They were street lit authors. That was like my start to start building an audience. And then, when I met the Pastor Power and Gara, they ended up becoming a music distributor. And a guy named Lynn Smith, they kind of turned me onto some radio platforms. And another friend had turned me on to Spreaker, which I've been with them for almost 4 years now. And another friend from a leadership program helped me put the phone system together and connecting, with different internet soft phones and everything. So it was a lot to learn about the inner makings of, understanding mixers and understanding podcasting and studying hours and hours. So after getting to that part of it, the learning and the research, it kind of gave me like a zest that I didn't want to give up like a lot of those guys. Like I see some of those people give up and they never lose the weight. Because my doctor told me I was the first person she's ever met that had reversed it. And I've met a few people online that's in the groups, the support groups that have reversed it. Not a lot of them. But a lot of those guys end up becoming marathon runners and cyclists and stuff. They get real physical. Because you got to catch it in time when you catching it just when you are able. Because I remember I was listening to Wayne Dwyer just yesterday, and I remember that guy, he was overweight and depressed and all this kind of stuff. And he ended up running 8 miles per day for 29 years. He just passed in his late 80s. And I said, wow, 8 miles. I said, like I was doing 3 to 4 miles, running, getting in shape for 5. My son and I, we both were competing in 5K races, and my best time was I think 32 minutes. But now I can actually almost walk that time, So now I just walk because I was starting to get a lot of injuries, and it was taking a real long time for it to heal. Because I should have been, my doctor said, well, you really should be lifting weights while you're running, leg weights. But I wasn't in the gym. When I get in the gym, I just wanted to run. I was on the treadmill running. And she said, no, you got to start doing some. And then, and a lot of people were telling me that too. I said, you need to do some leg weights too, But I just couldn't see myself sitting there pushing weights when I could be on a treadmill or the bike. That's how I looked at it, So, then not just this, but I met some of the best and the most wonderful people on the internet, and they kind of give you the zest to want to do more. Like my managers, she's convinced me finally to go into internet television. I said, yeah, it can happen. We can do this, so let's do it. So we're going to be connecting internet, because I had tried it before, and then I was like, it's too much time. Let me just focus on the radio side. But then I could see where videos is starting to be really, really important to independent gospel artists. They spend all this money, but they have no place to really play it, where there's an audience, because that's not what they do. Their job is to produce good music and spread God's ministry. Our job is to produce media, and build, and market and stuff like that. So we're going in that direction as well. Just like you guys probably looking at Facebook Live, you probably said, "What's that TV 21?" Well, that's the brand. Television 21. That's right.
Right.
Positive Power WXI. That's right. So it's out there now. So that'll help us push our movies, our films, and we have a lot of music videos in our library. So and we're producing live concerts here. We're going to be doing some talk shows. So why not have your own place? We looked around out there. My manager really wasn't that impressed with what she's been seeing for the money they're asking. She said, let's just go ahead and do this. Come on, Jerry. So we're doing it. So we're going to do it. We're going to run pretty much run a not 24-hour TV, but maybe the weekends. It's going to be a combination of that and music. So we're excited. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
So, like, for my last question, you have got to tell us about this Batman character. Like, what is it? Where did it come from? What is it? What does it mean?
Well, I don't know if you guys met Tina. You know, Tina's Superwoman. And what happened, people was like asking me, they said, you know, when do you go to bed? You know, they see the light on, they see me still broadcasting. And it was because when my diabetes had kind of like, it kick in, you know, glucose level kicking or whatever, I'll sleep and I'll wake up and I'll just start working and I'm like a mad scientist. So one day I was at TJ Maxx and I looked in the case, I saw a Superman ring. And then I looked again, I saw the Batman ring. So when I saw the Batman ring, I said, there it is right there. There's my label. So there you go. Batman late night talk radio. That's what they call me. So and I flashed the ring.
It's right in.
Yep. So I love
it's
it.
Right in. Yes. That is awesome. And for the listeners, you guys can also catch me on the late night show with Paula G.
Paula G. That's right.
Who has the Quiet Storm every Friday, right? What time, Jerry?
Well, it started at 11:30 with Paula G. She starts her interview one-on-one with her guests, and then you and I come on at 12:15 with the party line. That's right, Quiet Storm party line. That's when we have. Sometimes we can have a guest, we can have other podcasters, and we just shoot the breeze. Sometimes we on there till 3 a.m. Depends what we got going on. Yep, we got a lot of those nights. 3 o'clock.
That's my kind of party.
Yeah.
That's my kind of party, Jerry.
That's right. Party. And we just talk about issues, anything that's, you know, dealing with the Christian community, music, the business, you know, everything. We talk about it. So hang on out with us, y'all. All right. And we got some great things happening. We got a little bit of time. I just want to let you guys know we got some new podcasters that just decided they wanted airtime with Positive Power. They like what we do here. We have a very friendly, family-oriented business. When we get together at these award shows, it's like a reunion. We look out for each other. We call each other when we sick, when we down. We support each other's projects. And a lot of us I actually have a book coming out with Patrice Jackson this month. I think comes out the 27th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Dropping a book. That's right. Jerry Woods Live is going to be an author. I always wanted to do that. So that's happening. So I got a film coming out, a book coming out, and a new television show, and a whole bunch of new podcasts. So we got some people that's going to be so excited. We're so excited with Ree coming on board. We got Pamela Zion coming out of California, which is a heavy market for us anyway, because we're carried on a really big radio station out there. So it was exciting to have her, and I'm sure people overseas are going to enjoy Ree. Ree is a very popular artist here in the South, domestic. So we hoping to take her because she's already going to be touring out in the Bahamas I think in a few months. So we got a lot of people from the islands that listen to the show. So I think it's going to be really exciting for any author and artist who's trying to, you know, visit overseas because they love African American gospel music. That's all I can say. They love our products. So get on out there. That's right.
Awesome.
Amen.
That is awesome. My goodness.
Amen.
So awesome.
I
just want to say that I am very, very, very grateful and very thankful to even be a part of what you're doing, and even on Elations on radio as well. It has been an absolute pleasure already. And Jerry, I'm just meeting you for
Yeah, and I've been listening
the second,
to you.
maybe third time, just over. Yeah, so I cannot wait to make it out there to Baltimore to, meet you in person,
right.
finally.
That's right. Come on out.
I am really, I'm anticipating the date.
Yeah, waiting on Kimmy too. Yeah, I think Kimmy kind of told you guys because I was trying to get her to come up with Paula because we're going to do Paula's show, and I was hoping to have you guys here so we can have a sister circle type show because, Kimmy and Paula can really go deep on different, women issues, and I really wanted to see that happen. So we'll see what happens. If not this time, next time.
Oh yeah, that would be actually,
yeah.
That would be. I bet that would be absolutely amazing.
That's right.
I bet. Oh, yeah. Do it, Jesus. I can't wait to be a part of it.
That's right. So,
my goodness.
So that's gonna be great. So that's gonna be powerful. That's something we looking to, prototype, run on our platform. And get that stuff overseas, because one of the things that I know my manager and I was talking about, you have all these platforms and they taking people money and they don't really have the kind of content that we're producing here. I mean, we have the people. We got the studios. Right. I got several studios that I work with. So, my studio and one other studio, big studio. Yeah. So we just hoping that, because we gonna be producing some Bible teaching programs. We actually have we're actually about to work on a big project in about a week or two, maybe a few days. You guys are familiar with Pastor Time. Pastor Time is actually going to be a online Bible school. So for those of you not happy with the teaching, or you don't have a church home, you can come right here. And I mean, Pastor Kelly is probably one of the best Bible teachers I think I've ever experienced. I've experienced several, but I think he's right up there at the top. So we're gonna get some recordings. He has a lot of this stuff already done, so we just need to get him in studio. So I do a lot of studio engineering work as well as what you guys see here with voiceover work. I was a publisher for a very long time. So, audiobooks is really doing well. The sales are up 16%. So we're actually going to be producing some audiobooks for children, which I think is going to be great. We actually met a publisher who's already interested. And, hey, it's going to be great things for Jerry Voice. Mm-hmm. Yep, 21. Awesome. That's right.
Yeah.
Double XI.
Even harder. My goodness.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Absolutely amazing.
I share the wealth too. I share the wealth. I don't keep everything to myself. I definitely share, no doubt, because we got a lot of talent in this group. We got two people who do voiceover, and then another gentleman's interested in getting into voiceover. So we got a lot of in-house projects that that we can do.
My goodness.
That's right. Multimedia.
That is great.
Amen.
Yeah. Yes. My goodness. I'm really excited. And I applaud you. I commend you. You are a very great, 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 great man. I believe that you are leaving a legacy, for other men, not just, your son or, people in your family, but just for men in general. You know what I'm saying? A legacy to follow, no matter, when I look at your story, when I think about your story, I think about the fact that, adversity happens. You get sick, whatever. Something happens, but you don't let that stop you.
That's right.
And so that's inspiring to me.
That's right. Don't let it stop you. Don't let it stop you. That's right, y'all. Do your thing, work, put God first, your family, your business, your employer, do all those things in that order. Follow the 10 Commandments, pray every day, find yourself a good Bible teaching ministry. I say, it is so much online right now. Of course, you can choose the wrong things, but I think that, if you get into our network, you're going to discover so many other podcasters is pretty much doing the same thing. A lot of them on Blog Talk, just like you got Elations and you got your other stations connected with the gospel music. You just follow that trail and you're going to find some really good people, on this path. which we have. You know, we got great.
Yeah.
I can't say enough for the people that I've met online. I mean, some of these people are some of my best friends online. You know, I met them, you know, a few times at award shows or events, but you know, we communicate almost every day. You know, and that's what it's about, communication.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? You was alluding to about men. You know, we have a Saturday show, Next Man Up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did you know about that?
Yeah. Tell us about that real quick.
All right, real quick. That's a podcast for men. We have a number of rappers and gospel artist guys that come on and share their testimony, their journey, and they talk a lot about what they're doing with their ministry. So this is really designed to encourage you and support you, and we dedicate those Saturday mornings to those men who stood up, next man up. So that's what we call it, next man. A lot of these guys were in prison. A lot of them was in prison in their own homes, and at the same time, you know, sometimes the family don't understand what you're doing. Your friends don't understand what you're doing, but we do. So we're here to support you, and we honor a man each month. We already had 2 honorees, Robert Rowland, and Pastor Keith Ron Powell for February. So we do that, and we invite those guys to come out, and we give them homage. You know, we just honor them, what they have done so far. Yeah, so superheroes. That's what we are. That's right. Thank you, Chanel. Thank you so much for letting me come on your show, man. I'll be listening to you all the time. I was like, well, I don't know her. You know, it's weird not knowing you. Yeah.
Right. Like, why don't I know her? Oh my God.
I know she be shouting me out, Jerry Royce, Positive Power. I gotta get to know her. I gotta find out who she is. Yeah. Awesome. Right. Well, welcome on board with Positive Power. Yeah, we're gonna have fun.
Yes, I am grateful. I am so grateful and thankful. So, Jerry, do you have anything any kind of closing thoughts or anything you would like for the audience to know, any kind of encouraging words or words of inspiration?
Well, the main thing I want you guys to keep in mind is that word unity, that big U word. Right now, that's the problem we're having with our race. It's like there's no unity. Yeah. If we can unify, and that just means support. You know, you may not have the money to buy everybody's T-shirt and everybody's CD and everybody's music or whatever, or movie. But if you can just share that file with your timeline and invite people to come out and check out the radio show, we have some awesome podcasters. You know, we're not asking for a dime. We do say if you want to support the ministry, you can go out to my website, positivepower21.org. You can support the ministry because we do travel a lot. My son and I, we have a lot of equipment. You know, we do have to rent big trucks and stuff like that to go to these events. The wonderful thing about when we go to these events, we give these artists an opportunity to be showcased around the world in high definition and quality broadcasts, because I've been highly trained in this. So we can give them the BET, the Grammys, the Oscars type of a look. You know, so if you have an award show and you want a lasting memory, that's what we do. You want to, you're in concert, you want a lasting memory, that's what we do. We do that for you. So, hit us up and buy some. We send our rate card out to you. Fly me out. All right. Well, come here. I got wonderful studios here. Just bring your crew. Make it easy. And I don't have to ship my stuff.
Yes. Well, you heard it.
Amen.
I want to thank you, Jerry Royce, for once again joining us and telling us about your life and things, the great things that you are doing. I also want to thank the listeners for tuning in to Let's Talk Show on Elation Radio. Once again,
Amen.
I am your host, Chanel Lynn, and we will see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Elations Radio. You all have a wonderful week. Thank you so much, Jerry. I will see you soon.
Amen. Feel the power. Feel the power.
Yes. Everybody have a good evening.
You too. Thank you so much. We love you. Bye-bye.
All right.
You're listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.